And welcome back everyone to what we've all been waiting for. The team kill is upon us. We're getting into a beautiful Zerg versus Terran matchup. Dark versus Oliveira. CranKy versus CranKy Gaming. Oh my god, let's go. And how could you not want a ZvT, especially between these two amazing players? And here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player, the reigning world champion, also representing CranKy Gaming. It is Oliveira. Here we go. Again, the ZvT is upon us, and I'm a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit shocked, a little bit surprised that this made it through the vetoes here. We're going to be loading into Equilibrium, and this is considered to be more of a Zerg favored map. The reasoning for this is because the center of the map is pretty wide open, especially once these rocks get knocked down. There's multiple angles of attack. Likewise, more importantly, the goal base. The goal base can be taken as a third, can be taken as a fourth. It can be very difficult to actually punish this gold. Yes, there is a cliff here where you can like lay siege upon it with your tanks and your setup. This is true, but you can also attack it from multiple angles as well, and it is still difficult here to really punish this gold. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm very excited to see what Oliveira has in store for us, as he is going to be going for a CC first. Beautiful. We have a CC first here from Oliveira into the racks. Is going to be delaying his Reaper, delaying his Marine in favor of a faster economy into a stronger economy. I think this is a really wise thing to do here. The likelihood of the Zerg player going
Game paused.
The likelihood of the Zerg player going gas first here on Equilibrium is very low. So chances are you're not going to get punished. You're not going to get punished for going for a faster expansion. So a really greedy maneuver here from Oliveira, and unlikely to be punished. Oh, as it looks like. Oh, well, we're coming back in.
Game resumed.
So we are getting into this. It looks like we had a pause for a moment, but merely for a moment. As again, Dark is going for a hatch gas pool standard opener here from our red Zerg player. And we do have again that CC first from the Terran. Also, because we're on Equilibrium, on top of that, it's also why I love the fact that Oliveira is being a little bit greedier and cutting corners, just because of the likelihood of the Zerg player getting a little bit further ahead in the mid game. As we are going for that Reaper first. Overlord's getting across the map. Overlord is going to get eyes on the fact that the CC's already done at this point. And that is enough of a tell for Dark to recognize, I see, you've been a greedy boy. It's going to back off from here and eventually retreat towards the safety of this Overlord pillar. Meanwhile, Lings are moving out, moving across the map immediately, hoping to get some kind of damage to kill a couple of workers if possible. Reaper's moving out, is spotted by Dark. Dark, he does, I believe he's going to be rotating over, actually backing up, going back home. If it was Marine first, then Dark would have kept pushing, but it's a Reaper, so we're going to respect it. Respect it, come back home instead. From here, we're going to settle into our game. Just going to be droning for the time being, saturating our bases, getting everything up and running. So we do have our cheap creep tumors on the way. Oh, and we have a pretty interesting follow-up here. So I assumed that Oliveira would be getting into a third CC, but just because of the more economic start. I would have assumed that he would have been hammering down and gone even greedier, but no, it's going to be a 1-1-1. Tech Lab is on the way on this rack, so we could go for an add-on swap into Banshee production, and Dark happens to be going into Roaches. Okay, so we have Roach play out of Dark, as to be expected. He's renowned for his Roach play. It's very common here for Dark specifically. He's a very iconic player, and the Roaches are a part of that. And we're not going Banshee, we're going into BC. Very interesting here. Okay, so Oliveira still goes for the add-on swap, which is very peculiar when it comes to a BC opener. Going for a Viking first even. Shutting down these overlords. Okay, so Viking first is a tell that it's going to be Battlecruiser. So once the Viking reveals itself, we have two Overlords in position. One of them should be diving into the main to get confirmation of what exactly is coming out. Meanwhile, Dark, he's cutting workers here at 42. We have Roaches on the way. I think he's only making enough roaches to move out, so around 9 roaches, and behind this, yep, we're droning. So he's saturating behind this, he's going for a small roach push to apply some pressure, and it shouldn't get out of hand. Shouldn't get too much done. Viking does reveal itself. Overlord should be going in. Hellions move out at the same time, take control of the Zonaga. The roaches have been spotted. Roaches have been spotted, and Oliveira immediately does back off. And how many roaches in total? 8 roaches in total. They do run into these Hellions, though. 1 roach already goes down. Not a bad start here for Oliveira. Behind this, bunkers are on the way. Additional Raxes are thrown down. It is not BC into mech, it's BC into bio. First battlecruiser still on the way. That second Overlord has actually survived the Viking. I love this. We catch some reinforcements. We can't really fight roaches head to head, but we do catch 1, 2, 3 roaches on their own. So good pickups here from Oliveira. Meanwhile, the roaches, they do move out across them, and they get a couple of SCVs. The bunker is done. And again, these Hellions are trading well here, catching 1 and 2 roaches, or 2 roaches at a time. Getting really good movement from Oliveira. As Dark is going to be expanding behind this. He's taking the gold base as his 4th, not his 3rd, but he's going to be droning. He should soon be maynarding and saturating this gold. Meanwhile, the first battlecruiser is on the way. Got our double Evo chambers for upgrades for speed and production as well. I believe the battlecruiser hasn't been scouted. No, it has not. And here comes the BC right in towards the main. The spores are not done. Completely catching Dark off guard. Queens are out of position. Drones are going down. The roaches are deflecting those Hellions. We do barely get the transfuse off. But the Queen still falls. We get 4, 5 drones in the main. Good damage. The BC will get the hell out of there. And not a bad start here for Oliveira. Gets the Overlord as well. Gets at least 1. He could get another. We can't transfuse. We're off of creep. Second Overlord. Oh, it is going to go down. And remember, behind this, it's bio, not mech. Mech is the much more common transition. So Dark is not fully aware of what's going on, still committing to Roach Ravager. The BC does wander towards that gold, fully saturated, by the way. As we're not able to get much more else than that. Gonna be backing up from here. Double drop moving out. Meanwhile, as the Hellion does slip into that natural base, we have a Nidus Worm on the way. This is something that Dark does very often. If Dark ever falls behind, if he ever takes too much damage, and he did take quite a lot of damage from this BC, and he may even take some more, he goes for a Nidus. We have a lot of Queens to make use of. BC does teleport back home, but we have Double Drop making its way towards the main base. Do we have enough at home to defend against that Nidus, though? We're gonna be pushing with Roaches through the center, and we're gonna have the Queens to support through that Nidus Worm. Double drops are moving out, and we need to force Dark to turn around. Let's go into the main. Dive into the main base. Evo chamber is going to be shut down. Denying plus on Carapace. Meanwhile, the main push, I believe, has not been scouted. These tanks are looking so vulnerable. And we get the Nidus into the main. No vision! Oliveira, he has no vision of the main base. He doesn't see, he doesn't know. First tank is going to go down, and we should get the second tank as well. Big pickoffs. 2 tanks go down. There's no more backbone to this army. Even if it wasn't for the Nidus Worm, Dark is doing so much here. As we do get the 3rd tank. At the same time, we're camping the production. Roaches right on top of everything. Nothing shoots up, but we could always get Queens out. We don't care about the Queens. We're going straight for the CC. 15 dead workers, 15 dead SCVs. Oh my god. And counting. And eventually this will be forced back, but the fact that we lost 3 tanks in defense was massive. And Oliveira, he's at death's door here. He shuts down the Nidus, cleans up that 1 Overlord from the start of the game. Roach is continuing to even hit his 3rd. And now Dark is miles ahead. He's on 74 workers. We have Burrow on the way. Infestation Pit, Tunneling Claws. Plus 2 upgrades, triple Evo chamber. 4 Evo chambers even. Just to make sure that everything gets up and running. And Oliveira's in a rough place. Honestly, Oliveira was doing really well up until, not even the Nidus, up until the main push. Like we mentioned before, but even Dark pushing right through the center, killing 3 tanks, that was already insane. That was already well worth it for Dark. The Nidus was really the cherry on top, just making sure he just secures himself, shutting down the main base, and now Oliveira is desperate. He's going for a Doom drop into the main. We have Liberators here towards the south, Viking through the center. Army has been spotted. There we go, BC right into the main base as well to support. Medevacs are being focused out. We get one! We get one medevac. We're going to get a second and a third medevac as well. Oof. Good target firing there from Dark. He will lose the hive. But he gets everything else. Again, with only 2 medevacs, we have to trade out with some of these Marines. We do get a lot of drones. 18 dead workers. Where's the anti-air? Up! The BC! Oh my god. Be careful. As the BC is going ham on this army, getting quite a lot done. Liberators in each of the mineral lines as well. Dark, he's being pulled apart. The Hail Mary play, it's kind of working. Kind of. As the BC catches even more transferring workers, gets an Overlord as well. Double job keeping the main army busy. And Oliveira, he's tying it up. Well, he's evening things out. Gets another queen. This is the only queen left in the game here for Dark. Barely any anti-air. The Spore Crawlers. The VC, is barely gonna escape. Dark, he deflects the army back at home. We're rebuilding the tank count, the Marines. Oliveira, he is fighting back. So 3 base saturation. Dark has a lot of hatcheries though, and he's still got the gold underway. This is the biggest problem. If it wasn't for this gold base, then maybe things would be a little bit more even, but again, this gold is just giving Dark such a massive boost. Essentially on 80 workers, getting to Infestors, getting to a Spellcaster, so laying at Roach, Ravager, Infestor. Bailing speed is on the way. And Dark is maxing. He's remaxing. In a couple of seconds, he will hit 200 supply. And Oliveira, he's just keeping the pressure on. He has to. We do have a 4th CC on the way. He's trying to get enough breathing room to expand and take a 4th. Running into the army though. Again, one good fungal is all that Dark is looking for. Then he can go for the piles. The bio army. Speaking of fungals, no! Massive fungals. We do barely not get the medevac. That was so close. Medevac almost went down. Bathing speed about to kick in. Dark, he wants to fight. He wants to engage. Oliveira backs off, respects the army. BC into the main. We have Spores in position. Queens as well. There's no way into the main. Not again. Again, Dark has maxed out. Now, Dark has inflated supply with Roach Ravager, but because of the Infestors, there's still a lot of potential with this army. Like, again, with all these Lings and Banelings, a good fungal growth will just catch out the bio army completely. Oliveira, though, he's getting his 4th back up and running. Working towards 3-3. We're making a game out of this. Double drop into the main base. Bold move. Medevac's taking a lot of damage. Oh, and some of these Medevacs are going to go down. Just barely we unload, but not really worth it in the end. Oh, we do get 3 queens. Oh my god. The Marines, they put in some work. Sorry, 2 queens. Almost a 3rd queen. 2 queens went down. We have the classic Burrowed Infestor here for Dark, moving out as well. Maybe to land a fungal. Again, we do have to respect the army. Meanwhile, Oliveira, he's just trying to turtle. He's on 4 bases, so you have a line of tanks, eventually working towards his 5th, towards the gold. BC's still alive. Oh, we get the Neural! The Neural with the piles as well. Battle Cruiser finally goes down. Oh, it's me. Oh my god. Wait, why am I lagging out? I'm right here. No shot. I'm connected to OBS. No. I'm gonna have to surrender. Yeah. Oh my god. Smurge. Yeah, I don't know, I was at what, 250 ping there? That should be fine. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I'm still logged into BattleNet as well, by the way. I'm right here. But that was this was the beginning of a comeback, and Oliveira, like, I'll restart the game. Hopefully that fixes it. But Oliveira, he was of course clawing his way back into it, was going for some great drop play as well, and that game can really go either direction. Honestly, it can go either way, and we won't find out which way. Feels bad, man. We'll be there for game number 2, but at least for game 1, we will have to get out of the game. Don't want to cause any kind of latency issues. I'm gonna load up unit preloader, and hopefully things are better. Because the internet's fine. But I guess not. So we're going to be going on a short break. Bit unfortunate. We won't know the conclusion of game 1, but we'll be there for game 2. We will be there for it. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the delayed start here. Again, we did end up lagging out of game 1, and it went the distance. It was a 35-minute game. It was crazy. It went all the way to the late game. Split map scenario right down the center as well between these two players, which is impressive that our Terran player was able to recover after a really rough start. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and our Zerg player is leading the series 1-0. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkyone, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Chinese Terran representing CranKy Z Gaming as well. Down in the series, it is Oliveira. I do notice a stuttering here as well. It might be clearing up. We'll see. So again, I did restart the client, did restart the game. Hopefully everything is okay as we get into game 2. I will at least finish this series. I'll wrap up this best of 3, and if things don't clear up, as you can see here, there's still some weird stuttering going on. We saw that last game I lagged out. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden to the players specifically. I don't want to randomly lag out, and as we progress in this tournament, it could happen again. Could happen again where I end up lagging out of the game. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, currently my connection to the Korean server is really shaky, specifically on BNet. Like, my OBS is fine, internet's fine, everything else is fine. It's just my connection to BNet happens, for whatever reason, happens to be really dodgy at the moment to the Korean server, which is weird. I don't know why. Like, again, ping wise, I'm fine. Like, I'm looking at my ping, it's fine. It's just, yeah, the connection is a little bit weird. So we'll wrap up this series, and if it doesn't clear up, then we will raid another one of the English casters, and they'll keep you covered there. I'll try to make up for it with a replay cast. I'll probably do a replay cast sometime during the week, just to make up for it. But until then, we're settling in. We're settling into this game, and so far, Hatch got spooled. To catch you guys up, I was actually watching, and we have a rack expand. I was actually watching over on Inu's channel. Inu, he's a Korean caster, is covering this series over in Korean, and we did see a split map scenario. Oliveira, he got into a 5-base setup. Thor tank Ghost Lib, and he was doing well. He was trading damn well, but Dark had a much stronger economy. He had a much larger bank because of the early game as well. So it was Oliveira kind of fighting for his life, trying to punch up for a solid 30 minutes, and wasn't quite able to do so in the end. Dark just had too much. Dark, he went into just pure Broodlord Infestor Viper. I think he had like 20 Broodlords at a time. It was crazy. The amount of Broodlords that he had was insane. So we'll see if we can get there again, especially because we're loading into Alcione, a map that is known for its split map play, is known for its late game. So we could be getting there again. And imagine an Oliveira that gets to the late game where he doesn't, stumble into it, where he doesn't take a big economic blow early on. Because if you remember, it all started with Dark rushing in with the Nidus into the main base, crippling the economy, crippling the production even. And Oliveira had to just claw his way back in, and he did. It was very impressive. He was able to pull it off, but we'll see if he can, again, have a much better start this time. For now, we have our follow-up. It is going to be a Rax Expand in towards a 3rd CC before Starport. So a very economic opener here from Oliveira. Is going for that Starport as well. Could even go for an add-on swap here to get into Banshees. Again, just really standard stuff. Meanwhile, once again, early Roach Warren, which shouldn't surprise anyone. Dark, he's known for his Roach play. It's who he be, it's what he does, it's what he's known for. Gonna be getting into Roaches as his main unit of choice. Isn't going to be, going all in or anything like that, or at least he could, but we'll keep an eye on the worker count. Overall, Roach all-ins on Alcione actually struggled to get much done just because of the defender's advantage they have back at home with the ramp, with the setup. For now, Hellions, they poke and prod at the 3rd base. Nothing quite here, though, as Dark is making a massive wave of Overlords. Oh, we're cutting workers at 42. We are making and banking, getting ready for a bunch of Roaches. Here we go, 7 Roaches on the way, just like last game. If you remember, last game, Dark moved out with, I think it was 9 Roaches. 9 Roaches in total. He did push out. Didn't get much done with them just because of the Hellions, and we actually had a BC follow-up. This time, Banshee. Banshees will have a much easier time cleaning up these would-be Roaches. Here we go, Roach push is moving out. It is amassing, and it's not just Roaches, we're committing into Lynx as well, so we are going all in. Dark, he's doubling down here on his aggression. Roaches, Lynx are moving out, sending everything across the map. And Oliveira hasn't seen this yet. He was poking the 3rd. He saw the lack of saturation. That should be a tell, but the 3rd is being taken, and the Banshee does move out here to try to meet the army. We need to focus down as many of these Ravagers as possible. One Roach does get caught. But again, it's all or nothing. Scan into the natural, sees the lack of gas, sees the Roach Warren. So far, 2 Roaches do wander in, and they go down instantly. But we're not done. We're going for the surround. We have Lynx from behind. We have Ravagers here from the front. Going to be peeling up some Lynx actually towards that 3rd base, while not quite connecting on the Banshee. Oof. And again, we don't want to throw these Lynx away, but so far, it looks like we are holding. Bunker is gonna fall. The Hellions, they just wreak havoc here when it comes to these lanes. Boys are being pulled as well. We dive on the Ravagers, and we should clean this up. That's gonna be a lot of SCV damage though. 12 SCVs go down. But now we can counterattack. Dark technically up in workers, but he's still undersaturated here. He's working on Oliveira. He's racing back home. Again, really good movement out of Oliveira's Hellions. He was able to keep them back, avoid the surround. Likewise, really good that Oliveira was able to catch some of those Roaches ahead of time. Kane's going to be pushing on forward, but the Banshees, they have arrived, and up! Oh, they're going to get a Queen. There's no detection. There's no lair. There is no lair. 1 Queen goes down, and we can get even more than that. We dive on the rest of them. Meanwhile, the Hellions, they ignore the army. They go straight for the mineral line. 4, 5 workers going to be going down, up to 6. Oh, meanwhile, across the map, though, Dark doing quite a lot. He gets so much counter damage on 14 SCVs. He gets every single worker at the natural, even slips into the main as well. Oliveira was doing so well, but this 1 link counterattack just caught him completely off guard. 14 SCVs for 7 drones. And he wants more. He shouldn't get any more, though. There we go. He is going to be forced out. Oh, my God. But Dark... I was concerned that the push didn't do enough. I was concerned that he was taking too much damage back at home, but this Ling run by this Ling counterattack is keeping Dark in this. Keeping him in this game. From here, again, we're getting into additional spores. Going down our 4th, droning up, saturating our 3rd base as well. Things are looking good. Things are looking up here for Dark. Meanwhile, Oliveira, the pressure is on. We're even going straight into an infestation pit. This should be for safety infestors, then eventually rushing into a hive. Units are moving out. Fun fact, I'm looking to see if we end up dropping or skipping frames again. Keep my eye on it. But for now, again, things are going to be settling down here. Oliveira, he has a lot of catching up to do, and he's going to be doing so by just, again, hyper-fixating on his economy. We should be going for drop play, and we do have Banshees on the left. We have a double drop being set up on the right-hand side. Medevacs are on the way. Meanwhile, Dark getting in position to dive in. They get one queen. But the rest are here, and Dark, he is going to be holding on. It feels like it's clearing up. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon, Bappy. So we have that double jump on the right. No overlords in position. There's going to be very limited scouting here for Dark. Unaware of the drop. Yeah, we are diving straight for that main base. Dark out of position. Link's going to be going down. We could maybe go for the queen, or maybe just go straight for some drones. We stim forward towards that mineral line. We go straight for the gas geyser. Could even throw in that spawning pool. The roaches, they make it in at the same time. Another gas geyser goes down to the Banshees. Rotating towards that fourth. Miles going to be zoning Oliveira back. And from here, yeah, I mean, Oliveira, he was able to get a queen, able to get a couple of gas guys as well, but he needed more damage. He needs to get so much more. As Dark has gotten away with rushing into high. That's kind of what his better economic situation has granted him. It isn't really reflected here in his overall supplies, but in the tech. Hive is done, Adrenal's on the way, Vipers are coming out as well. This is what Dark got away with. Meanwhile, here comes Oliveira's push. Fourth CC is on the way. We're going to be hitting with 1-1. Stim is done, combat shields as well. Tanks are getting in position. Here we go, Oliveira stimming on forward. How good are the Biles? The Biles, they graze the army. We can stim on forward. Busting up the ramp towards that third base. The Banelings are rolling in. The blinding clouds, the Biles, the fungal growths, we cover everything. Tanks are going to be going down. There's one tank left. Do we have enough? As Queens are coming in for the surround as well. We throw away the infestors, but it looks like Dark will barely hold on. But here come the Marines, the reinforcements. We're pushing in. We may not have tanks, but we have man with gun. And Oliveira, he's barely breaking through. Gets on some of the Ravagers. Two of them go down. Vials do miss. But here comes the Link Vein. Finishing up just in time. Oof. Just in time to force back the army for a moment. But Dark, he's still in some trouble. Oliveira is still just rallying everything across the map. He knows that the pressure is on. He knows that he has to make some magic happen here. He checks. There's no base. There is no fifth. Reduced him forward towards that fourth. We do get damage done on the hatchery, but there's just too much Zerg on the ground. We force the pickup. We do force the pickup, and Oliveira going to be rotating here towards the north. Trying to pull apart his opponent again. Oliveira, he's come back from worse. He's come back from behind already in this series, and he's looking to do it again. 2-2 has kicked in for the Terran. Oh, +2 carapace. That is late, actually, from Dark. Very delayed +2. Not like this. Dark is going to be taking his fifth, finally. He takes his fifth as Oliveira already has his fourth saturated. And really, that's like the biggest win here out of this push from Oliveira. One, he reset the spellcaster count. He killed all the infestors, reset the Ravagers, traded with the army well enough. And on top of that, contained Dark to 4 bases. And now, as a result, Oliveira, he has a comparable economy, a better economy than Dark. Double jump towards the north. Main army threatening that 4th base. So far, Darky's keeping up. We get on top of the 5th. We force a cancel. Very nicely done. We cancel the base. Tanks are sieging up. These medevacs, they are running out of energy. Bailey's roll in. Power bombs as well. Good split here. Power bomb does minimal damage. And he wants that hatchery. He wants that base so bad. But there's too much on the ground. Oliveira has to back off. Good stutter stepping. Oliveira, he has to retreat towards the north. This double jump isn't going to get too much done either. Ooh, 6 round too long. We clean up the Marines. Dark looking to stabilize. Ultras on the way. Vipers as well. Again, that Hive Tech kicking into gear. Oliveira trying to keep the momentum going, but everything will change once the Ultras hit the field. Kindness plating is done. Overlord speed on the way. It's like something synthesis. There we go. Anabolic synthesis. Shaking my head. I don't like it. The name, I mean. But here we go. That's going to be a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. No, sorry, cancel. Never mind. Hatchery does get canceled. That's Oliveira. Good splits here. Going to be able to push on forward. Denies another hatchery. Forcing another cancel. And this may just be too much. Yeah, the trades here from Oliveira. The splits as well. Viper's going to be coming on forward. But there just isn't enough to stop Oliveira. Where are the Bailings? The Bailings are gone. Not here anymore as we get on top of the Roaches and Ravagers. The hatchery does go down. Oliveira, can he pull this off? Oh my god. Yeah, GG gets called. It just becomes too much, and Oliveira will tie up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god. Very well done here by Oliveira. Again, initially defending and able to surpass and survive the initial Roach Ling Flood from Dark. Then things got a little bit shaky. Oliveira was losing a lot of workers. Things got quite close between them. Dark rushing into Hive Tech, I feel like was an okay call. Like, the Vipers and Infestors, they had their place in the defense, but maybe we were a little bit too greedy tech-wise when it came to the push of Oliveira at the 3rd base. If you remember, when he moved on forward through the center of the map with his tanks, he traded damn well. He nearly, in that attack, he almost killed Dark then and there. It was almost over. Dark, he barely held on, but he lost so much in the process. He didn't lose workers, but he lost all his spellcasters, all of his gas units, was contained to 4 bases, as we mentioned, and Oliveira, he was able to take it. He was able to get ahead. GG, well played. And now we're getting into the ace match. It all ends here on Oceanborn. All ends on, or under the sea. Let's go. And again, this can still go either way. It can go the way of the Zerg or the Terran. Here we go. And this morning, in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Zerg player being forced into the ace match representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran representing DKZ as well. It is Oliveira. Here we go. And Oliveira going for the low ground racks. Let's go. I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. Racks are going to be on the way. It does make a lot of sense here to go for a 2 racks on Oceanborn specifically. The reason why I say that is because on Oceanborn, it's a very linear expansion path. This 3rd base is really the only viable 3rd. The center base here is just so exposed, so vulnerable that it's almost a death sentence if you do take this. So the goal here is to go for a 2 racks, and the purpose of this build is to contain the opponent to 2 bases. If Dark tries to sneak out a 3rd, then Oliveira should be able to punish it. Should. We'll see if he can. Again, it should be 2 racks Reaper here from Oliveira. Getting into his CC, getting into his follow-up. The follow-up could go a couple of different ways. It could be 3CC 2-on-1, it could be a 4 racks even. Could just be a regular 2-on-1, or even a 3 racks. There's a lot available here for our Terran. Now we are going to be getting ready for that move out. Getting Reapers on the way. And this Overlord is going to confirm this. The Overlord dips on forward, and Dark should get eyes on the setup. He will see the racks alongside the depots as well. And behind this, we stay in gas. We're going to be staying in gas. We get up to 100. We prioritize link speed over everything, as we are stuttering quite a bit. I'm a little bit anxious. Yeah, again, I do think we'll wrap it up after this series. Oh god. Not like this. But here we go, the Reapers have arrived. We can see that Dark is trying to sneak out that third, by the way. Going straight for that hatchery. Reapers getting into the mineral line, but alas, they can't quite get any workers. So far, good defense from Dark. He's able to keep up, does force this back, and the third base has been revealed. Behind this, Oliveira, he's investing into a third and fourth Reaper. Sorry, I should say fourth and fifth Reaper here before getting into add-ons. Should be 5 Reapers max, and we should be canceling this third. Dark, he will be contained to 2 bases, as we mentioned. He's going to be punished for trying to expand and take this hatchery. Link speed is on the way, but it's not going to finish in time, and Dark is going to be contained. Behind this, there's the reactor as well as the tech lab. Getting into our 3cc setup. As hopefully, we do cancel in time. But there's that third command center on the way. So very economic here from Oliveira. He should be aware that link speed is finishing, so these Reapers need to get out of here. They need to race back home, otherwise Oliveira may lose these Reapers to the links. So we have to be very careful with that movement. We do catch 2 links, actually. Oh my god, and there aren't that many of them, so we can threaten this third base again. We shouldn't force a cancel. This time there should be enough on the ground. But Oliveira, he's being a little bit cheeky, a little bit greedy here. Forcing Dark's hand. Behind this, fast Roach Warren. Very fast Roach Warren from Dark. He's going to be cutting workers here at 31. 4 Overlords on the way. This screams all in. This screams like the Dark is not going to be saturating these bases. He's going for a big Roach link push. Speaking of the links, he's trying to catch these Reapers, and it looks like he will. Oh, will not actually. Quick moves out of Oliveira, avoiding the surround, and he will get back home. Back at home again, he's getting to his 3cc 2-on-1, building up his Marine army, working on stim. Now, what's important is that Oliveira has achieved quite a lot with this opener. Like, it's been really good, but he hasn't seen the follow-up. He doesn't see the fact that we're not even saturated in our main. We may nod it over towards the natural to make it look like we're droning. So, not even 16 workers here. We're just amassing Roach, Ravager, Ling. It's all or nothing for Dark, one way or another. Either the game ends or we're able to deal enough damage to transition out of this. And here we go. Meanwhile, Oliveira has no idea what's going on. And he is vulnerable to getting surrounded. Oh. Here we go, the Ravagers, they reveal themselves. We have to race back home. No, Stim isn't done. Stim finishes up just in time here. We have to Stim all the way back to the wall. Boys are being pulled. Vials. Well, they do connect here on only some of the SCVs. The Reapers turn back around. We clean up the Lings. We do clean up things. We're going right for those Ravagers. We cancel, at least one of them. At least 2. Reinforcements are on the way. We force the pickup. So far, Oliveira is holding on. So far, good trades from the Terran, but there's no bunker. The Tech Labs are exposed. Stim did finish, but it looks like Combat Shields is not going to. Yeah, the BIOS are just too much. Production's exposed. Factory is going to be going down, but we do have a tank on the high ground. We have that tank on the high ground. The third base is taking a lot of damage. We have to lift. Lift, Poppy, lift. Uh-oh. SCV's on the way. And I think it's gonna burn. Oh god, oh god. We do lift up just in time. Saving the third. Boys are being pulled. Lynx once again trying to surround that army. Lynx are being cleaned up though. We're getting on top of the Ravagers. Getting on top of the Ravagers. It looks like the tank does get piled down. For Oliveira, he's holding. He chases this down, gets one, gets two, gets three, gets every single Ravager. Only one left. Soon to be none left. Oh my god. Can we get it? It lives. The Ravager does survive. But again, Oliveira, he's on 3cc. And Dark is droning. Dark is droning as heavily as he can. He did kill some workers, but I want to favor Oliveira here. I want to favor him because he has a third CC to get his third base back up and running. He can make 3 SCVs at a time, triple mules. 1-1 is on the way. These upgrades are going to get insane. 1-1 is finishing. Meanwhile, the lair is still in production and no Evo chambers here at all for Dark. Dark is not set up for a later game. Oliveira is. So Oliveira, he's getting further and further ahead. Upgrades are kicking in. With these armories, Oliveira, he can get into 2-2 almost straight away. And Dark is up against the wall. Now, Dark can approach this in a couple of different ways. Either one, he can tech up very heavily, or two, he can take a fourth, drone up to 66, which is 3 base saturation, cut workers, and go for a second all-in. We'll see what he goes for. See what he decides. Here we go. Dark is going to be threatening that main. Does force back these. They're empty medevacs, by the way. Keeping Dark preoccupied. And here come Marines from the south, clearing up a lot of this creep. Containing Dark here. Basically, Oliveira, he was hoping for a fourth. He was waiting for the fourth base, and if there was one, he could shut it down, but alas. Dark still contained to 3 bases, working on 1-1. Working on those upgrades. And Oliveira, he's just stable here on 60 SCVs plus mules. Getting into his tanks. Working towards 2-2 just as Dark starts up 1-1. Now, Dark, he's stuck on Roach Ravager. Like, there's no easy way for him to transition into Banelings at the moment. So we have 1-1 on the way. What's on range, I should say. Fourth base now being taken here from Dark. And Dark is going to be able to keep up, like, supply-wise here. But remember, this is inflated supply. The soup does lie. Soup does lie when it comes to roaches. Race on in, and can we force a cancel? We do force a cancel in the fourth. It wasn't even 2 full medevacs, but we forced the cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Dark unable to catch up, unable to keep up, and we're building towards an eventual push. Like, we're building towards a move out here of bio tank, and that's a lot of tanks. 5 tanks here for Oliveira. We have a double drop moving out. We have a drop here on the right, and we have a drop on the left. Try and pull Dark apart. Going for those tumors. Going straight for the Ravagers as well. Looks like we get 2. Get 2 Ravagers just in time. Keeping Dark busy. At the same time, here comes a drop, and we're not going to be able to expand. It's not happening. We just want a 4th base, and we will not get it. We force another cancel. Dark still stuck on 3 bases. We scan the main. We get eyes on the lair. More importantly, we see the lack of additional tech, the lack of hive, the lack of infestation pits. Again, Dark is maxing out. He is maxing out on Roach Ravager. But Oliveira, he doesn't care. He is moving. Now, there is a world where Dark can maybe catch his army off guard, maybe catch it unsieged. But so far, a good spread. Oliveira, he does go for the siege. He sims on forward. Gets on top of the Roach Ravager. Massive tank shot's going to be going off, and you can see Dark's army just melts. The quality of the army just was not good enough. GG gets called, and Oliveira will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Oliveira achieving so much with his initial opener, with his 2-racks, with his 2-racks Reaper, getting out of hand, getting so much done with it. I mean, I say that, delaying and canceling the 3rd base, and also trading well against the Lings. Dark, he went into his own all-in with with Ling Ravager, and he didn't do enough. He did not do enough damage. He was unable to deal the critical amount of economic damage that he needed to, and with that, Oliveira does take him down in the end. Does come out on top. GG. GG, well played. Very well done here. Very well done by Oliveira. Again, just really solid play as well as a follow-up, and yeah, Dark, he was up against the wall. And Oliveira advances on to face off against Solar in the semifinals. Both semifinals are upon us, but I don't know if you noticed, there were a lot of frame drops. There were a lot of frame drops in that last game, and I am very concerned. I'm very concerned that frame drops will continue. And in game number 1 of this series, I actually lagged out. I was fine on OBS, but I lagged out of BattleNets. Like, for whatever reason, my connection to the Korean server is really shaky today. It usually isn't. Usually it's fine. Like, yeah, we casted that a problem. But I was like stuttering quite a lot in game, and I'm concerned that that's going to happen again. I'm very concerned. So I'm more than happy to catch up. I'm probably going to have a replay cast in a couple of days to cast all these matches, to cast all the semis. But I didn't like what was happening in that last game. I'm concerned, Papi. I am concerned. I'm concerned. So I think we're gonna end the stream here. We're gonna end the stream. It is a shame. I would love to keep going. I would love to. I mean, like, Solar and Oliveira, they're doing their vetoes right now. They're doing their vetoes. I would love to cast Solar versus Oliveira. It looks like a really good series, and I will. I will cast it next time, I guess. Next time, in a couple of days. Again, I'll get the replays, and we'll probably do a replay cast like on Thursday or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna be handing the reins over to Chicken Man. Like, I also, like, especially game 1. Game 1 was really rough, and it just wasn't looking good. Wasn't looking good visually on the screen. Like, I was even having a hard time, like, being immersed in the game just because of all the stuttering. So with that, we're going to be wrapping up here for now. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you so much for the follows as well. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're going to be giving Chicken Man a raid. Chicken Man, I believe he's casting the upper semis. Going to be casting the upper semis. And again, I'll probably get my hands on the replays. And in a couple of days, we'll do replay casts here on the channel as well. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Open Cup Americas, papi. In less than 24 hours, sorry, in just over 24 hours, we're going to be live on this channel with ESL Americas. The day after that, I think we have a GSL cast. I'll have to double check, but I believe we have a GSL cast, and yeah, we have a lot going on here on the channel, as we always do. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Bye. Hasta luego.